What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Benjamin. Welcome to the final recap of 2025. Wishing you a happy new year because, we are just hours away from watching the ball drop over in New York City to usher in 2026. But speaking about dropping balls, subscribe if you haven't done it yet. It's very simple. Click the button right below. Give us a like if you like what you see. We don't have any new hats to discuss for this week's episode. We are just going to be talking about all of our favorite campaigns, collections, and of course, our top 10 hats of 2025. But of course, I don't do this alone. Got to bring in my wingman, Teferi Taylor.
What's going on, Ben?
Not much.
Happy New Year's Eve. I guess now the experts are here because we love hats and we know you love hats. But this isn't a dynamic duo. Got to bring in our third guy, AB.
My brothers.
What's up?
Going into 2026, excited for sure, but I'm ready to recap 2025. So I'm ready.
I'll tell you what I'm looking forward to. I'm looking forward to this year to end, so all my goddamn sports teams might be able to start fucking winning again in 2026, because this is arguably the worst year of any sports team college that I follow. And it started off with Oregon losing Ohio State in the Rose Bowl. So tomorrow, get your shit together against Texas Tech, boys.
Listen, the hat that you're wearing, Ben, that's a team that's rolling right now. Red hot, sun hot right now in the NFL. Those,
my wife hates it. She wants to divorce me because she's a Packer fan. But no, I'm kidding. Love you, babe.
Shouts out to my Chicago Bears fans out there. My guy Derek, Q, Elias out there doing good numbers. Yeah. Let's see if you guys can get it done, man. No Chiefs in the playoffs this year, so it's gonna be real interesting.
America wins based on that one.
You guys know what we came to do. 2025, crazy year. We, for your viewing pleasure, have come up with our own tops of the year in different categories. And I think, Ben, you're going to kick us off, man. What's our first category that we're talking about today?
We are going to start things off with top 5 campaigns for Hat Club for year 2025. And I am starting with my number 5 pick, which is actually going to be Valentine's Day. I thought it was a very interesting concept just because it's a collection. We've done year after year after year, kind of going through some name changes with Sweetheart, so on and so forth. The creative direction that we went with that, Geza and company, really knocked it out of the park with that one. Feelings might get hurt in these top 5s and top 10s that we're doing, and it's not, in a vindictive manner. So there's no malice behind these picks. All right, my number 4 came together super last minute, but once again, shout out to Geza and Lucy for putting this one together. I went with Syllabus Week. Just because it was the first time that we really did an expansive college collection, more specifically with New Era hats, of course. And the fact that they were able to get not only onto a college campus, but into a frat house, put something together. And then once again, the speed at which the majority of the collection sold out in a very quick period of time at the beginning of the college football season. I got to tip my cap to that. And then shout out to our buying team for getting the majority of those restocked right before college football playoff season. So my number 3, Bacchanal. I was just very intrigued because of the fact that, one, living in the Bay Area, there is a very strong Filipino population here. So I knew anything connected with the Filipino population was going to get cooked. But more importantly, going with the anime style for the campaign, I thought was a really creative and interesting direction. So shout out to everybody involved with that one. All right, my number 2, a more recent campaign. I went with Behind the Wheel just because of what the theme was, obviously involved with the collection, but then more importantly, I think with just the cutaway styles, using the cell phone, like the FaceTime, and to lead things off, and then of course, being able to get all those amazing cars out there. So big shout out to Bowen, 1, because the entire collection was great, but then 2. Obviously, our marketing team and our campaigns team for putting that together, relatively last minute, and absolutely killed it. So excellent job by everybody involved on that one. Yeah. And just because I know our editor loves this, I'm going to do it one more time. Family. All right. In my number one spot, I actually have a tie. I don't know if you guys have ties on yours, but AB, kudos to you. Kudos to Monster, because I've got Mi Musica and Dia de los Muertes combined for the number one spot. The fact that those two collections dropped within a month of each other is impressive enough, and the sellout capacity at which they went with those, but just the creative direction that we went with the campaigns, it was electric. Every collection you put together is from the heart, and so to be able to see that, you know, kind of like front and center on our reels, on Twitter, on Instagram, et cetera, like really solidified that. So excellent job once again by everybody involved with that.
It's funny, as Ben was talking about his list, it was just like, man, you know, that's a really, really good list. So it makes me like question my own. For me, you know, marketing, like Ben, had an opportunity to be in a few marketing, you know, campaigns myself this year. So this was really tough because I wanted to be fair to everyone. I think everyone did a great job this year. Number 5, I have the Juneteenth pack. Now, for those that don't know, Nigel, who was one of our ambassadors, had a chance, given that he went to an HBCU, and this was something he had talked to me about when he came on board. Is something he really wanted to do, was highlighting Black culture. The fact that we were able to do that close to Juneteenth, the campaign, where it was shot out in LA. Shouts out to Gaza and the team and everybody for getting that together. It felt very Pan-African. It felt very, you know, just very, very much emphasizing what the meaning behind Juneteenth was, which was challenging because obviously, you know, we're probably one of the few, I think, that have actually done something and been ambitious enough to associate that name with a pack.
Yeah.
But I love the storytelling. I loved how intentional Nigel was with it. I think it set a precedent, which I think Hat Club does a very, very good job of from a marketing perspective. So I had to show love that year because I think that was like probably a moment for us this year that was really, really great. I loved it a lot. We took a risk there. We took a chance. I knew it was going to be very much highly looked at and scrutinized, you know, once it actually came to market. So I was glad that we were on the right side of that. We put some really good effort into it. So that's number 5. Number 4 for me is going to be Dia de los Muertos. We just talked about that pack in general. I loved it. From the Cincinnati Reds that Monster did and how that was incorporated into the mariachi with the skeleton makeup all the way into the Pan Phillies. I just felt like the whole thing from top to bottom executed to perfection. Number 3 is probably going to come out of left field for some people, but it's something that I got a chance to do something really cool this year. I got a chance to do my first in-store drop. We've already talked about how crazy Miguel is with videography, and he spared no expense for the Good Feats pack. It was a NoHo exclusive, which was interesting. I never really been a part of a full production like that. So from coordinating with Miguel to getting all that done, I think just the video of making John the actual figure that's on the heel of the shoe, to starting the video with me on top of a basketball goal, like out by the piers in New York, to just how that whole thing went, to us actually finding a Colombian coffee shop in New York to shoot that campaign. There were like so many gems in there. It was perfect just from start to finish. We had people literally on there saying, oh my God, this is probably like up there for like promo of the year. And I had to actually go look back at that video multiple times just to really think about how much we did in just such a short period of time between both photos and videos. So I want to give us love. I want to give Miguel love for that as well. John for being probably one of the best people to release a hat pack with. I think we just really combined our creative visions and it came out well. I think we brought some good energy back because there were people lined up at NoHo before we opened, and it was just a really good moment for us this year. So number 2, I'm kind of going in that realm of us pushing boundaries. I put Cattle Pack. The reason why I say Cattle Pack is because I remember when that was just like a very small variety pack that we kind of put in there. And a lot of people are like, nobody's going to buy this. Nobody likes cow prints. Everybody was saying that. And to then see like resale shops, like one that Astros cooked immediately. I mean, just from the fact of, you know, just the fact that they went to a ranch to actually shoot it, it felt very like the aesthetic of it felt perfect. I mean, we were talking about those Houston Astros cow hats for over $700-800.
Yeah.
It was crazy. I mean, still up there, like probably 300 to 400, just because of how limited they were. Shouts out to Freddie for being visionary enough to experiment, to make
Yeah.
that, to really like and widen the pack even more, to include more teams. He even did an Atlanta Braves that I am a proud owner of as an app exclusive, which just continued to show that we were pushing the boundaries and doing things that were different. And I think that's one of the big things I love about what we do as a company. We push to be different. We strive to be different. Everything isn't going to always hit 100%, but I feel like this was one of those times where Freddie trusted his gut. He expanded the pack and it sold. It cooked immediately this year. So big shouts out to him and the team for putting that together. And then number one, this was very, very difficult for me, but I said this at the top of the year when it dropped. I said it was going to be pack of the year. It's going to be in that conversation. It had to be. Main event pack 1.0, from a marketing perspective. You just think about the fact that its proximity to WrestleMania, the hats and how they landed. They were unique stories. These weren't like redos of older hats. I mean, you're doing deep cuts into lore with the Montreal AO screw job. You got pretty much. I mean, that Expos had in itself almost started to ride, but then you had the Atlanta Braves, you had KJ, you had Yeezus, you had AMS with the best in the world Cubs. I mean, when you look at just the storylines and how that was all put together, then to how the promo was shot and how all of them were involved in that first one, it was just like I looked at that and I said, wow, this is going to be one of the packs of the year that we're going to talk about. We're going to spin back on just because of marketing, execution, and then just moments. It was close enough to WrestleMania. It really woke up a lot of the wrestling fans that we had, and it did it in a non-cheesy way. So, I gave them that prop at the head of this year, and I felt like, yeah, from a marketing perspective, they cleared it out the park. Like Barry Bonds swung it out the park. That is my top 5 for marketing for campaigns.
Yeah.
Proceeding to myself, in the top 5 campaigns. We're starting off with my number 5. Shout out to the team in LA for Barbershop, because we turned our A Hat Club LA flagship store into a barbershop. We tapped into barbers, some community barbers too. Shout out to Brimfield, our ambassador. She was part of there. They had the whole rollout, the haircut, even the whole attire, had a whole Hat Club logos in there, and as well as the Clippers, so attention to detail from Geza and the team, and then attention to detail from the design perspective. Freddie, killed that pack with the side patches, the interior. So that's my number 5. I really like that one. And then my number 4 is the hat that I'm wearing, Sakura. And to me, not only did the hats speak for themselves, but the promo did numbers. Shout out to Chief for putting, just that promotion together with Geza and our creative director Doug, because Freddie Gibbs did a crazy album this year, and Alfredo too. So it just really correlated, with the Japanese art and the Japanese artwork that our Freddie put into these hats. So, and those gardens just looked amazing, just looked effortless, if I say so myself. So not that the hats didn't carry or Freddie didn't carry, it just blended well together for me. So number 4 was really well. And then for my number 3, it's it's aligning up with a lot of you guys' choices as well, is Behind the Wheel. So shout out to Bowen, shout out to Miguel, Geza, and Maddie for putting that together. Really, really special job, and it just spoke to the hats, spoke to the people. So that's why it's in my number 3. Then my number 2, this is a new one into the campaign top 5s for us, is Garden of Eden.
Dude,
yeah,
dude. Again, me and Tep were talking about this before recap. It was like we just had to go ahead and look at all the campaigns we did this year, and that was one of the ones. Was like, yo, just promo wise, marketing wise, that was crazy. A freaking snake in, and again, not knocking anyone outside. Again, who's doing this? Who's bringing a snake into a freaking promo shoot? And the hats
albino snake
were amazing. And Maddie told us like like they had to adapt to the temperature, you know what I mean? So it was freaking hot, for the
Yeah.
snake, So shout out to the team maneuver themselves around the model that time. So that one was in my top two. I really like that one. And then my numero uno, has been in all of our top five for campaigns is going to be Dia de los Muertos. Again,
Mhm.
shout out to the team because it definitely, I did not know what I was going to expect as far as marketing goes. And like as I mentioned, I was definitely very, glad that we went this route. Shout out to Geza for finding the talent in Maria. The glow in the dark aspect too helped a lot of those details, and as well as the pin. Shout out to the pin that just elevated. Shout out to
Yeah.
Mark Wavy because this year in 2025 we didn't do as many pins, but that was one of the pins that definitely spoke to the consumer for sure. So now moving on, I'll head us off with we're going into top five collections of the year.
Ooh.
Again, like Tef said, this is really hard all the
Jeff-
time to pick into a top five. So shout out to you two because you guys are very experienced at doing this. My number five is stained glass as far
Mm.
as top five collections.
Yes.
How you guys just describe it, how does freaking Freddy do it over and over again where he takes something that he's done before and just just go higher than he did. So in 2025 it was uncanny to me just seeing, even more side patches or front logos turned into stained
Mhm.
glass. So
Yep.
I had to pick two up. It was the A's and the Phillies in that pack. So I just know that once I can pick up more than my typical one or two, that's how I know it's like, man, that's a really great collection. So shout out to Freddie for
Mhm.
turning stained glass 2.0 into what it was. Because to me, that was a top five worthy. I feel like for my number four pack, this is just me finding a loop around on this. So you can say what you want, but it's my list. So I know number four, it's the ambassador packs as a whole, because
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
every month it was just banger after banger after banger, So I wanted to put them all together. So shout out to our ambassadors. They take a special place in my heart because I work with, with all of them in these, and they definitely do their thing. They're very, very good at, putting details behind these hats, So the collections that they did, month over month just really, really spoke to me and to our customers, as you guys can see, because they're very, very successful. So that is my number four. And then my number three in collections, it landed in the same spot as my campaigns, was Behind the Wheel. So
Yeah.
shout out to Bowen. That collection, was very, niche to the car consumer and to the hat consumer, but he took a risk. He definitely took a risk because he went very bright with these colors, very bright with some UVs. So shout out to him for taking that risk because it definitely paid off. It did very, very well. A lot of people love that Seattle. A lot of people love both the Angels and the Green Dodgers app exclusive.
Mhm.
So I really like that as my number three. And then my number two was my number one in campaigns will be Dia de los Muertos. That is my number two in that spot. Again, sometimes, I don't give too much credit to just like the storytelling that we put behind this, but Monster really definitely helped me off on this one, because, this is something that he wanted to do in 2024. We couldn't. So now bringing it in 2025 was definitely something special for me to do with him, because he had a vision of doing this just for our culture, because it's definitely not Mexican driven, it's Hispanic driven,
Mhm.
paying respects to our loved ones that passed away. So shout out to Monster and Oscar, on doing this one for sure, because again,
Mhm.
this was definitely a good one to pick as far as collections go as well. So that's my number two.
Yeah.
And then my number one, ironic. That one
Really? Okay.
had a lot to me, a lot of bangers. Because I could have gone cattle, I could have gone reflective too. Again, super hard to make this, but ironic just really kicked things off well as far as like Arizona events go too, because you
Mm-hmm.
know that Skull Chief exclusive is probably one of the ones that keep asking, yeah, man, when are you guys gonna restock it? When are you guys gonna restock it? And that's a Ronnie question, so stop asking. But I felt like again, that had a lot of bangers. The Tiger Bombs Tiger, with
Mm-hmm.
that swinging Tiger, and also the Braves and the hell,
Yeah.
Houston. If
Yeah.
the Houston Astros one was really really good, and to me also the Salem one, the YF, WF.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Super super nice. So that for me, probably had my number one pick.
This one was very difficult for me too. There's a little bit of nostalgia on my list. You'll figure out as I go through my number five. My number five, charge it to the game, not my heart. If you don't hear your collection called, it is not anything personal. I said this last year. I'm just gonna say it again. Number five for me was the crossover pack, and I will tell you why. If you
Ooh.
remember, that was like the two hats that you could buy was at the highest price point that we've ever done because we
Yep.
were bundling two hats together. But the reason why that pack stuck out to me was there was a time that we could not say crossover. We could not say it. We could not talk about it. It was cool fashion. If you know, you know. I like how we took the most of the opportunity. The NBA, NHL connections for some of those hats were top tier. I like the fact that they were like trading cards. So like you had people that are like, hey, I got this pack. I like this hat out of this one, but I like that one over there. So that kind of inspired a lot more trading, a lot more going around. But if your hometown, like I thought the Minnesota was insane. The Blood Moon that the Minnesota Timberwolves was actually howling to, I thought that was insane. I mean, Dallas was really great. I mean, when you look down the list, there was just a lot of really good things. Boston as well. That was probably one of my favorite episodes of Recap to record when we were doing that live and showing those off. But these next two slots were not picked because I'm trying to suck up to AB at all. But number four for me was going to be Para Mi Gente. Like I said, we did a lot of packs this year, celebrating Hispanic and Mexican heritage. But I felt like this pack in particular was great from the Phillies that he did. I mean, if you guys don't watch the Hatties, you already know that the Pan Dulce, Phillies that he did last year was incredible, just in really opening a new way to use that 1996 patch. Sorry, Big Show. Giving you your flowers again, AB, I think, from just using that wash blue on the Angels to doing a lot of the things that you did to make this pack feel and seem different while also staying true to aspects of Mexican tradition, heritage, food, culture, all of that. I felt like that was really, really dope and really, really cool. Shouts out to Q. There was like an interview that they did, and they're just like, "What's your favorite hat?" He's like, "It's a hat that's not here." So I mean, but I think that it was cool to see like the in real life component versus the online component. They flew online, in person. You're just as affable and cool and awesome in person as you are online. So I'm glad that people were able to experience that with you. So that's why then it fell on my number four slot. I think for that unique fact that it released in person and it released online and it cleared out at all locations. I think that's a testament to how good that collection was. Number three, giving flowers to both AB and Monster. God Dia de los Muertos in there.
Yeah.
It's a broken record at this point, but amazing collection from top to bottom. That Phillies is probably one of my favorite hats that I think I've continuously gone back to and grabbed. Even without the pin and everything else, I think the minute I saw the talent with it on, I was just like, yeah, that's definitely like my favorite of all of them. But then as I looked at the pack more, I was like, man, that one's in there too. Like AB, I use the same rule. If I'm looking and there's genuinely 4 to 5 hats in that collection, I say like I wouldn't be mad if I got that. That's really speaking a lot to the character of the pack. So Dia de los Muertos are my number 3. Number 2 and number 1 are the same from my marketing, and a lot of people may ask why. I think number 2 cattle pack, just because of the frenzy I think it started amongst hat companies.
Oh yeah.
Animal print, you think of exotic things like zebra, leopard. I don't think anybody thinks cow at first. And that was like probably one of the few times I've ever seen adjustables fly as quickly as they did, especially with the Vaca V-backs. That was initially a 5950. Then we made it an adjustable and it flew just as fast. The Open Star, that was an app exclusive. I mean, we've seen so many variants now of it, which I think is great. So number 1, like I said, main event, I think when you look at collections, I always just talk about moments culturally, what they do, how they shift the culture, how they move the community. All those names: AMS, KJ, Yeezus, Legit, Brett. I mean, all former, KOAKs. All guys that are very well known in the community, all guys that are respected in the community. So I think that when you get that dream team of guys together and they align on something that they all like, and then from shooting to everything, like I literally said, I think the day that we covered that pack on recap, it's like, this is one of those packs where whatever hat you come away with, you're happy. You're not like, I didn't get the Cody Rhodes, but I got the Dirty Dom. I may not have got the Montreal, but I got the best in the world Cubs. I don't think that there's been a pack where top to bottom, I saw people saying, listen, I just want one. I don't care which one it is. I just want one. It made me feel like, Hat Club was back. Shouts out to those boys, man. They did it right. That's my top 5 for sure.
Oh, yeah. So my top 5 collections, I went to a very interesting route on this one, just for at least number 5 and number 4. Because I kicked stained glass off. I feel like a jerk for that. But it had to do with the fact that regular old tie coming with the Trois de Joie with the estate stuff. I mean, even though we're only talking about 3 hats, going with that old style China look, but then giving it like the LA vibe to it, I thought was very creative, very original. And then not to mention the fact that we used it for the sun visor, the shower curtain. So, these are things that, exceed the realm of just the hat world and stuff. And so I did not pick one up because they sold out faster than I expected. So my number 4, big shout out to Justin. These are the pink undervisor rhinestones.
Ooh,
nothing too crazy about it, because team colored hats, all Hat Club original pink undervisors, but all of them are tricked out with rhinestones, and every single one of them sold out instantly.
Yeah.
So simplicity goes hand in hand with genius. So number 3, I'm in alignment with Tef on this one. So I went with Cattle Pack for every reason he explained, but then more importantly, he mentioned this as well, being able to get the adjustable version for the 5950s we did the previous year, but just expanding upon the collection. But once again, I'm going to bring up, we need to bring up Milwaukee Brewers to the collection for 2026.
Campaign.
It's not a slight to the design team. It's just funny at this point that a cheese producing state did not. Anyway. Number 2, I went Dia de los Muertos. Can't say enough great things about that. And number 1, I went with Mi Musica for the specific reason of, Tef mentioned this when he was going through his collection, as far as, getting that vibe of Oxpack back. And so the fact that AB, you were able to do this with very strong Mexican background, and it was a hit. So thank you. Really, thank you for bringing, Oxpack back into the minds of everybody, but having an original spin on it.
The hard part.
The moment you guys have all been waiting for. We are going to cover our top 10 hats of the year. Yes, that means contiguous 365 days of 2025. We were tasked with picking our 10 favorite hats of the year. There is no limit on collections. If we wanted to say all 10 of them came from the same collection, we could. Since I elected to introduce this segment, I will go first, and I will take full heat for everything that's probably going to come after I just put my list together. So number 10 is going to be the app exclusive Dr. Doom Cubs.
Ooh.
Smart.
Or Doomsday Cubs, whatever you want to call it. The Marvel trailer that's released and everything else that's come about. It doesn't get any better than that. Cat straight out of Latveria, honestly, if I could be so bold to say. But it flew the last time it was up there as a variety pack, and pretty sure it's gonna fly again. So that's my number 10. My number 9, the multicolor camo Yankee. This was a hat that when we did camo pack, a lot of people were kind of lukewarm about it until Freddie put up the sample of it, and the internet blew up. It went crazy. That is one hat on my list that I regret that I do not have in my possession. I had a chance to get it. I was just like, I think I'll be okay on release day. I indeed was not okay. it makes a statement. It's an art piece, I think, legitimately as a hat, and can't say enough about it. And number 8, I'm gonna show some of our ambassadors some love. The Sunborn AZ D-backs from Vic Almighty. His first ambassador hat. We are an Arizona-based company, so I could not have a list without an Arizona-based hat on it. That hat was just very, very unique, and it was very special to Vic. I could see the effort and energy he put into the campaign, the promo. It flew when it released. We still have people asking us to restock it. I see the comments underneath this post all the time. Number 7. Shouts out to my guy 2-Piece Nat. We used to call Hat Club Nat Club a while ago. That was a running joke. But I'll tell you what's not a joke. That Oreos that he dropped. Periquito Oreos. Nat set the world on fire last year with the Pesos, Diamondback script, the cleanup as well, for the Arizona exclusives he did. So this Oreos was immaculate. That was a really tough one for me to put it that low on the list. I consider that low on my list, which is crazy. So now I know I really have to make sure that my next few are going to be bangers. But shouts out to 2-Piece Nat, masterful use of iris on a two-tone, basically chrome white black hat. Yeah, he did numbers. So then number 6, showing love to another ambassador, John, the LaFleur Vuitton Dodgers. A hat with very minimal metallics in it, but where they were very impactful. Mm-hmm. It was clamored for to be an LA exclusive. I felt like if it was an LA exclusive, it would have broke the internet. I thought it was just incredible how he did it. I remember because him and AB were going back and forth about the colors on that side patch for a while, but the colors that they picked were amazing. Highlighted, Tyler's time is like doing some consulting with Louis Vuitton. Perfect hat, really well executed, very well done. My number 5 is actually the hat that I'm wearing.
Hey,
the Taylor June Giants. Obviously, we just came back from San Francisco and LA. This hat meant a lot to me. This hat's actually 2 years old. It was actually supposed to be a script, and I changed it because I wanted to have a gradient. I wanted it to look different. I wanted it to feel like a piece of art, just like the album cover. And it did exactly just what I needed it to do. I love it. AB has called it my best hat I've ever done. John has called it my best hat that I've ever done. And every time I look at it, I see a new detail that makes me smile and look at it. So number 4, we've been talking about Dia de los Muertos a lot today. Why stop now? Dia de los Muertos Phillies in my number 4 spot. Great hat. It definitely gives me Pan Dulce vibes, but as a sneaky 2-tone, as well as just the seashell for the front logo, the treatment to the side patch for the 96. Everything about that hat was immaculate. Really, really well done. Number 3, my boy Legit. A lot of great expos came out this year, but none more coveted, none more fought over, in my opinion, than the Montreal AO Screwjob expos. Very well done. It's a tonal black hat. Pink UV, a very deep cut in lore for WWE and just wrestling in general. Really well executed, very well done. Legit. I told him he had one when he put it together, and I told him it was going to probably make my list of top 10s for the year. So shouts out to Legit for that. Number 2 is actually from my brother AB, the app exclusive from Mi Musica, which we just talked about, the collection, the Cincinnati Reds cow print. A lot of you guys had asked us, when are we going to get more Cincinnati Reds hats? And knowing my brother AB as well as I do, he came through in the clutch and he delivered. That hat is immaculate. I wore it actually to a focus group that I did at Nike, and I probably got about 10 different questions from 10 different people as to where did I get that hat from. Fantastic job, AB.
Thank you, man.
You knocked it out the park. And number 1, the Sakura 3.0. When I looked at and we talked to Freddie about how he put it together, how he layered camo on top of that etching, just the creative mind that it took to put that together, insane. I think that there are hats every year that we look at and we say, like, what really went into making that what it was? When he revealed it, everybody said, I need it. It sold out instantly. Shouts out to you, Freddie. I hope that you continue to usher in a great new era with the company and continue to keep pushing the boundaries, but had to give you your respect. That Yankee right there is something special.
The direction I feel like we're going with these is, it's like when you see through mine, it's very sport heavy.
Yep.
Tap, you were very design heavy. And I was gonna say, it's a right answer for everything.
Exactly.
So that's why I'm curious, like, see how AB is gonna go to round us out. Top 10 time. And I made some adjustments at the 0 hour while Tef was going through his list. Actually, I only made one adjustment. My number 10 is the Philadelphia Phillies Marine Metallics. I had it as like my 11th spot, but the more I thought about it, like top to bottom, it was actually probably one of the best hats that we dropped this year. The lenticular upper visor, but going with the, all marine metallic iris combination, Philadelphia Phillies interleague logo for the front logo. It was a beautiful hat, and I don't own it, and I feel like a jerk because of that. Whoops. My number 9. I don't often give credit to San Francisco Giants hats, but honestly, you coming in under the wire last minute with this ambassador pack edition, beautiful hat, man. Seriously, great job. Number 8 for me, it is the burnt orange pink under visor Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Yes, with the metallic copper, with the maroon, with the 10 years anniversary patch. So just full display of Bucko Bruce top to bottom. As a Buccaneers fan, I had to have this, and AB, I know for a fact that you have this hat as well. Number 7, this one just has more personal meaning behind it, just because the fact that it is one of the last Oakland script athletics that we were able to put out. This, of course, goes back to July with the fireworks pack. Just beautiful. But then more importantly, with the color scheme of the Oakland script, reminding me of the Children's Fairyland hat that I put together a couple years ago. And just kind of overall, I really like the addition of the warning label on the inside. Most importantly, took it to Vegas one time and I won $4,000 in a matter of 20 minutes wearing this hat. So yeah. Number 6, Jorge. Haven't given you your flowers yet, so I'm giving you 2 on this one. Chicago Cubs script flight pack. Obviously, I cater more to White Sox hats for anything that we do Chicago, but this one, that using that specific typeface for the script for Chicago, the Wrigley Field Ivy for the side patch, the fact that it was a 2-tone and went perfectly with any pair of Jordans that you own in your collection. Obviously, if it's the original Bulls colorway, it goes perfectly. I don't own it because it sold out before I had a chance to buy it. All right, into my top 5. I am going with an LA exclusive Montreal Expos. So chrome white crown, navy blue upper visor and button, and of course the combination of the dark olive green, navy blue, white, but then anti-iris in there with the 1982 All-Star Game side patch. And of course, this is a Hat Club original pink undervisor. Had to buy it. Number 4 goes back to March Madness of 2025. I have been in dire need of a Villanova fitted for a very long time. So shout out to Justin, I believe, on this one, and including the 1985 National Championship side patch. Oh, and most importantly, Hat Club original pink undervisor. So I wore this one recently in Vegas when there was a tournament going on that Villanova was playing in. Got a lot of compliments from not only the fan base, but also a lot of the players that were on the team, and had to break their hearts, be like, yeah, you can't get this one anymore. And it's funny because it's like, I'm an Oregon guy top to bottom, but, as a child growing up with Villanova, with Michigan State, and most importantly, UCLA basketball, special place in my heart for that one.
No,
for sure.
Really good pink.
So number 3, in the exact same spot as Tef, that of course is the Montreal Screwjob main event hat. This one is actually a size small, just because the fact that it was a quote unquote defect. So I bought it after the fact because I didn't give a shit. I just wanted the fucking hat. And every time I wear this, I just look in the mirror and all I can think about is Shawn Michaels in his return to Montreal, giving the infamous Brett didn't screw Brett. I screwed Brett. Probably one of the biggest heat nights ever in WWE history. So shout out to the main event boys on this one. My number 2 and my number 1 back-to-back skull chiefs. Number 2 is Ronnie Fitteds from Ironic that we did at the Arizona pull-up. I mean, I was busy that entire day. So I just forgot to buy it. And it is an absolutely gorgeous hat. But most importantly, I think going the route of basically making it look like a photo negative, genius decision by Ronnie on that one. And my number one, Dia de los Muertos, Skull Chief. And the primary reason is, well, it glows in the dark, one, but two, sold out twice in 2025. You cannot deny a hat that's not, I mean, we're talking high numbers on this fucking hat. High numbers the first time, even higher numbers the second time. And we just dropped them right before Christmas. And so there was no other place but the number one spot. So well done, Monster, and well done, AB.
Well, now I feel even great because my top 10 definitely consists of a mix of, app exclusive, store exclusive. So seeing some store exclusives in Ben's list, definitely, because I feel like store exclusives also just need, also showcasing more love because sometimes it is harder to get them. It is harder to attain them. You know what I mean? So, sometimes I feel like you definitely need to give credit where credit is due. But in my number 10 to kick things off is the Panther Pack Kanji Yankees by the man himself, Freddie, with the 1999 World Series pack. This one was just too good. Sold out in NoHo, sold out online. I've been looking for a NoHo exclusive, but it dropped, Ben, in 2015. It was a plain Jane with this logo, right?
Yep.
And I've only seen one person have it. Shout out to Kevin Nero. He iced it out by Wiz. But the fact that then I saw Freddie bring this out in this pack, I was like, yeah, this is a must-have. Like this, I know how good kanji scripts and kanji logos can be, but the Yankee one definitely, it just has a very cool look. So this one was my number 10. Now talking about employees, again, shout out to the Hat Club LA team. Shout out to Good Times J. At my number 9, I got the Pasadena Phillies from Good Times J. Shout out to Justin. Really, really good Phillies. This is the only team that I have here twice, the Phillies, but Chrome Dome Crown with the ICUV to represent Pasadena High School, anti-iris on the side patch. Really, really well done, Phillies, by Justin. I got blessed by some early access, but once the Dodgers won the World Series, I was like, here, take my money. I need this Phillies. So that was my number 9. My number 8, similar to Tef's, shout out Doom app exclusive. So good, it dropped twice. This is the original. As Ben said, doesn't have the iris. The original also doesn't have the Hat Club tag. If you purchased the new one, you'll be getting the Hat Club tag. So hey, mine's the fake one apparently. I'm just kidding. Shout out to John. This is a really, really good one. He just knows things too. He just knows because the trailer dropped and he was like, hey, perfect timing. Let's drop this thing now. Let's drop the restock right now. So really, really good one. That is my number 8. And then my number 7 spot, again, the last Hat Club LA exclusive in my list. Shout out to Mark Swavey. If you know, this is a great hook. Shout out to the Bay. He is from the Bay, the Oakland Athletics.
Yep.
Gray, purple, mix, Hat Club LA exclusive. This thing sold out like super quick with the iris in the side patch. Really, really good iris in the Ricky Henderson field side patch. And again, good Hat Club pinky. This one to me was my favorite A's of the year. So again, shout out to Swavey for a really, really dope pack. But that's my number 7.
Hell yeah.
And then in my number 5, it's so good that I still have it. Yes, I still need to make a video. I need to make a video for it because I have like 30 hats that I still need to record and do some marketing behind it.
Yeah.
But shout out to my brother Tef. This is your best crown, to me, ever. Not just this year, but ever. So good gradient, good 07. That Tef June, just like it just speaks volume, man. Like a good like grown man crown, just like his music. Shout out Larry. And then the next one, my number 4, just speaks volumes to community. I was blessed to be part of this project. Shout out to David. team and his family. Shout out to Ruli for putting this project together. Being the bridge. I got the fall 43 D backs. Talk about an event. To me, probably was the event of the year. As far as drops and event goes. Hand in hand. Him and
Hmm.
his siblings did his thing, like just not just the hat aspect of it, but just putting that event together, the food together, the shirt together. Shout out to Akili, just making that happen as well. And look, they even dropped an exclusive pin on their end. You know what I mean, for 43. So really, really good storytelling for their family, for the community in Arizona. So yeah, man, Arizona definitely ate this up. It flew quickly. That we even had a pre-order on spot for the event. You know what I mean, for the people that were,
Oh,
and missed out. So maybe in the near future, we never know. Keep
Mm.
my number 4. Talking about panics as far as the events goes. Ben was there. The
yeah.
cattle Braves
Hmm.
thing, and mind you, this was not part of the cattle pack. This was part of the Atlanta variety that Tef was fortunate enough to promo. They still didn't
Hmm.
get there in time, you know what I mean? Because we were supposed to really, do something special for the 2025 All Star game to represent that pack. And it couldn't, it just didn't get delivered in time, but it arrived for our dialogue. Phoenix pull up again. Ben got to see the frenzy of what this thing was able to do. Freddie did his thing just on how creative the color is. I mean, he even put the brown cow in his slides. You know what I mean?
Goodness.
It was so good. Like, bro, like I love this
Yeah.
hat. I wear this hat a lot. So this had to be in my top 10. This is my number 4 for sure.
Hmm.
And then my number 3, similar to you guys, is I had to include my brother here. Shout out to Monster. He had this vision, and shout out to Kay, his lovely wife, had the vision to just put, Pan de Muerto in a hat, gray bottom, Phillies. This is the second Phillies that I had in my list. As my number 3, it had to be there just because, the resemblance of just like
Hmm.
the pack, the community behind it. Good 1996 pack. And of course, I included the pin that went with it. But man, just an honor to work with Monster because he's a really creative dude. So had to be in my number 3 for sure. And then my number 2, shout out to Ronnie
There
because
we go.
this was a hard, gem to acquire. I'll tell you that. Raffle system.
Hmm.
People stayed up till 8 p.m. We were tired, but people wanted this so bad. This is a really good grail. And how Ben described it, the fact that it just like looks like that negative Skull Chief logo, like it's just X-ray version
Hmm.
of the Skull Chief. Shout out to Ronnie, really really good hat with the lavender UV. You rarely see that.
I forgot about that
Outside,
part.
yeah, outside of lavender fields, I haven't seen the lavender in a while, and
Hmm.
Sean's as well, Sean's Astros. So
Yeah.
again, kudos to Ronnie. Really, really good, really good hat. This was my number 2.
Hmm.
And my number 1 to finish us off. Shout out to my brother, because like Tef said, we didn't get Nat Club that much this time. So when we did, everyone was on the app because
Hmm.
his pack was app exclusive with the
Oh
2-piece.
man.
But this was my number 1. You guys, it's hard for my lighting to see iris, but this one you don't really have to try. You could see the iris right there.
Yep.
Full body bird, off white crown, hat club pinky. Shout out to Nat. Really, the bricks, literally bricks on the side pack. This man is a genius. This had to be my number 1. And Oscar might resell later.
Ah!
I'm wearing my crown, so this is
Oh
my
yeah,
number
for sure.
1, and that's my top 10 right there.
Yeah, I mean, you're the one guy who had a hat on all 3 of our top 10 lists.
Which
Yeah.
which to me
Well,
is
this
very,
is the same hat. The same hat. Sorry.
yeah.
Obviously, AB. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, no, it's cool because the hat that a lot of people talk
Because you're
about
fucking
from
cool.
that's, I mean, you guys know me, I'm always a humble person. I never take things like that, specifically subjective opinion, for granted. You have to pick, what you like. So I'm just honored that I made something that people liked. And that's created to my, that is connected to my creative vision. I mean, always going to be grateful for that. And I think it's just a real good reminder, I think, to everybody, just keep creating. Like, whatever you do, keep creating. Last year there was a hat I dropped that I didn't think a lot of people cared that much about. It was my Belongo Bay Braves. And to this day, I have people, Jesus being one of them, that was just like, that hat is just so good. So I say that to say that never think that because your hat's not plastered over everybody's hat of the year list that somehow or another that hat's not great. Somebody picked it up. They spent their money to buy something that you made. And that's more than a lot of people can say out here, at all. Without y'all, without the community, there is no us. So I'm always appreciative and thankful for people that, look at my creations in that way. And, shouts out to you guys, man, because I'm not here if, you guys are not here. So that it's a great opportunity, and 2025 has been a great year, some great hats, some great crowns, but I don't know about y'all. I'm excited for what 2026 has got to bring, man. I feel like the ceiling is even higher now.
I'm right there with you. I just hope to God that my collection drops in 2026. There is a chance it might drop in 2027, but I'm hoping it's going to be 2026. Yes, I've been talking about it for the last 2.5 years, I feel like, but it's just like, my God.
Listen, guys, one thing Ben is he is not a fibber. So I will tell y'all now, this collection is, if it's executed the way that he wants, I think can really be a pack of the year candidate.
Oh, yeah. I appreciate that.
No, man, I'm excited just for what we were able to do in 2025, and I'll keep this short. Just 2026 is definitely gonna start with a bang. Off rip. God willing, things go as planned. So stay tuned. Follow all of our socials. Follow us here on YouTube. Subscribe. Turn that notification bell. And yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm blessed to have now be part of the Recap Cinematic Universe.
Hell yeah, full time, baby.
So, yeah, man. Now we proceed into 2026, and I'm excited for what's ahead.
Yeah, no.
I think I'll leave it off from my end. As we start a new year, everybody's got resolutions they want to do, but I think the biggest thing is just be a good person. Just make a friend.
Yeah.
Be a chum. Be a pal. Be a good brother. That's it.
Yeah.
That should be your goal for 2020.
Wilder, I'm looking at you. Be a good brother.
Yeah, and for all of you that bump into someone at the holiday party, between talking about New Year's resolutions, what champagne they're drinking, pull out your phone and just be like, hey, I follow this really cool hat site. I think you might like it. I mean, obviously, just be discerning.
Take care, y'all.
Peace. Yeah.